a disaster.
Tell the people what happened.
We had the blizzard that went across the U.S. when it dropped the temperatures way below freezing. We left our water on, which was a bad idea for a house that's not being used. Bad idea to leave your water on under freezing. I thought the heaters would keep it at 68 is what they're set at. It should have kept it well above freezing. But I guess because we had so little insulation, there are spots that froze anyway. There are spots of the plumbing, specifically. The plumbing supply lines. So fortunately, in this house we have a main house and a wing, and it was only the wing.
Yeah, this is the wing.
But it did several things to the wing. It busted in the ceiling, which is bad. I can show you that if you want. Anyway, in this bathroom above the shower is where there were probably shower supply lines. You can see that hole.
Wow, what a mess.
A lot of drywall work, but the first thing is to look at the plumbing. So it apparently was right here, and it might be kind of hard. I can see a lot of different pipes up here.
Did you tear that hole in the wall, or was it already, did that happen from the...
It dripped out.
It dripped out and popped?
Yeah. Yeah, which probably helped, you know, keep the water in the drain, in the shower drain. But still, there was a lot of water that drifted around. Yeah, so this plumbing goes right up against the roof, like through the rafters up to the roof, meaning that there is absolutely no insulation between the plumbing and the exterior of the house, the roof, the roof sheathing, which is going to be very cold in winter. So yeah, so it's a bad design. It really needs to be insulated a little bit if you're going to keep the plumbing on during the winter. And so I haven't even looked at which supply line busted, either the hot or the cold.
All that mold or nasty drywall stuff.
Ugh. And then it was probably running for a day or two at least. And so it went above the ceiling, it stayed. Unfortunately, it could drop right down into the shower and go down the drain, which would have been the best scenario. Unfortunately, it didn't. It stayed above the ceiling. It came all the way out here. You can see water spots here, which are relatively easy to take care of if the drywall is not compromised. But you can see here it compromised a little bit of the drywall finishing, and then the paint on this wall looks like it's melting down the wall. So the water essentially went from the bathroom through the bedroom, down the wall, and just affected everything between there and here. It even went into the breezeway, but fortunately the house is above the wing, and so it couldn't get into the house. It didn't affect the house at all.
What's the best way to fix that kind of wall damage?
Good question. I think you just have to tear it off with a drywall knife, scrape it off, and then if it's really rough, you can put drywall mud over it, and then paint. If it's not too rough, you can just paint. You can just scrape it off and then paint, but probably it'll take a little drywall mud to smooth the edges. The way I found the problem, the leaking water, was all the fire alarms were going off. And so it turns out the leak is right inside this bathroom, and then the water was all flowing this way, and it was going right through the fire alarm. It's crazy. It's a wired alarm, because when we had a tenant that ran a nursery daycare in here, she had, according to state regulation, she had to get wired alarms. So it's an old house, but it has the state-of-the-art wired fire alarm, smoke detectors, fire alarms. And so the water was all running in here, and for whatever reason that was causing that alarm to go off. Since they're all connected around the house, every single fire alarm was going off, and that was probably for a couple days. I'm surprised the neighbors didn't do anything about it, although they probably might not know how to get in touch with us. So like I said, you can see the ceiling, the water spots on the ceiling, and you can see the direction all the water went. The good thing is that it apparently flows downhill that way because the water from the bathroom did not flow this way at all. So it confused the whole smoke detector system. As soon as I unplugged the smoke detector, that fixed that. But it did not flow up here to the heater air conditioning, which is an expensive unit, a mini split unit. So it did not. So the water did not come this way from the bathroom. So this side of the room and this adjacent little office area was completely dry. The ceiling, the floor, nothing's wrong with it, which is good. There's electric in here too that could have really been harmed, screwed up, required lots of repair. So yeah, so good news, at least we can take something good out of it. The water only went one way and it affected, what is that, maybe
This
a couple hundred square foot. Yeah, but a lot of it is stuff that is DIY. You know, drywall and stuff is
but
DIY.
Do we have the time to do this?
No,
right now?
I agree.
It's expensive from a time standpoint.
That's true.
Like,
time is money. Yeah, and we don't have much time lately. Everything's drying. I mean, I think the mold probably will mostly go away when it dries because winter time is so dry already, and we have the heat going, which is drying it out even more. It's going to get really dry in here, and that mold won't be able to stay. The mold only came because the water sat in here for probably a week. So yeah, so we'll fix the pipe. We'll fix definitely the drywall in the bathroom, and then figure out what parts. We'll have to see how this, if this all dries up. Once it's completely dry, what else needs fixing? Paint, drywall finishing, drywall itself.
What kind of mold remediation do you think we'll have to do?
I'm hoping not much. Like we can, like if it's just surface, presumably it's behind the wall too, so that could be a problem. But if it's just on the front surface, you can use anti-mold paint, like Kills. Kills is, you know, it started out as anti-mold paint. So you can use that and that can help some, but we'll see.